Hey guys, Heart of the Cards here, and we're doing a canine deck for you guys today. So let's get started. We're doing 3 canine Norori. What this does is, if your opponent has 2 more cards in their hand, you can normally summon this card without tributing. You can also use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. If this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 non-machine canine monster from your deck, but you can also not special summon from the extra deck except a canine monster while you control that face-up monster. You can send 1 face-up canine card you control to the graveyard and look at your opponent's hand. Then we do 3 canine Azuna. If your opponent has 2 more cards in their hand, you can also send this card without tributing. You can only use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. During the main phase, if your opponent has activated a monster effect in hand or graveyard quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. The card is not special summon, you can send 1 canine deck from graveyard except this card. Then we play 3 K900 Lupus. Next time you use an XYZ monster that has this card material gains this effect. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also use each of all following effects of this card once per turn. During main phase, if your opponent's activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. During your opponent's turn, you can quick effect immediately after this effect swallows XYZ summon using this card you control. Then we do 3 Lantern. I play 3 of all the canine monster cards, but not all of the canine spells and traps. So what this does, if your opponent has 2 more cards in their hand, you can normal summon this card without tributing. You can use each of all the effects of this card once per turn. If this card is in your hand, you can target 1 nullified non-pirate monster in graveyard, special summon both it and this card, but they cannot be used as material for an exercise. You summon other light monster during the main phase. You can have 1 canine spell drop from deck to hand. Then we do 3 canine Jokel. If your opponent has 2 more cards in their hand, you can almost summon this card without tributing. You can use each of all effects of this card once per turn. You reveal this card and one of the monster in your hand, special summon both, but they cannot be used as a serial light monster during your main phase. You can add 1 non-aqua canine monster from your deck, non-aqua canine monster from deck to hand. Then we play 3 Disablaster Negation Fortress. Basically, you can negate all any card effects in this column. That's the pendulum effect. There's a column with no cards. You can special summon this card from your hand to your zone. In that column, you can only special summon this monster once per turn. This way, negate any cards and effects in this card's column. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. I do 1 overlay booster. You control no monster with if you control a monster 2000 more attack, you special summon this card from your hand in the defense position. If you can only special summon once per turn this way. This card's in graveyard except the turn was sent there. You can bash in, target 1 face-up from each monster control. It gains 500 attack for each material attached to it. Now onto the hand traps. We do 3 Ash Blossom to stop 4 deck effects, 3 Joel to stop them adding cards, 3 Bear to negate effects on the field, and 3 Nibiru to board wipe. Now for the spells and trap. We do 3 Haste for Canine. When this card is activated, you can add 1 KMI monster from your deck to your hand. Canine monster you control gains 900 attack during any turn in which your opponent has activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard. If this card is set in the spell and trap turn is destroyed by card effect, you can set 1 K9 quick knife spell from your deck or graveyard. You can only use the effect of this card once per turn. Then we play 3 Chaotic Elements. Add to deck 1 level 5 or higher monster, light, dark, pyro, or aqua from deck to graveyard to hand. If you have 3 or more Pyro Knock monsters in the graveyard, destroy 1 card on the field. If your opponent controls a light or dark or Pyro Off monster, you can banish this card from the graveyard, then target one of the cards of your opponent to take control of it until the end phase. We would play 1 K9 Force Release. During the main phase, target 1 K9 X-Ray monster you control, special summon from your extra deck. 1 K9 X-Ray with a different name by using the monster you control. This is treated as an XYZ summon. Transfer its materials to the summoned monster. Then you can destroy 1 card your opponent controls at the end of the battle phase. If your K9 monster battle this turn, you can set this card from your graveyard. Only use each effect of this card once per turn. K9 Release Restraint. Target 1 K9 monster or rank 5 XYZ monster you control. Special summon from the extra deck 1 K9 monster with a different name by using monsters you control. This is treated as an XYZ summon. Transfer its materials to the summoned monster, and at the end of the battle phase, if your K9 monster battles this turn, you can set this card from the graveyard. You can only use each effect of K9 straight once per turn. 1 Thrust, 1 Called By, and 1 K9 Special Release Experiment. Special summon 1 K9 monster from hand or graveyard, then you can special summon 1 K9 XYZ monster from your deck by using the monsters and material. This is treated as XYZ summon, but destroy the monster special summons from the extra deck during the end phase. The next turn, during the end phase, you can banish this card from the graveyard, then target 1 K9 Quick spell in the graveyard. Only use each effect of this card once per turn. Now on to the extra deck. We do 2 K9 17 Ripper. Attach 1 material from this card on 1 K9 come from deck to hand. Then your opponent activated monster effect. This turn you can set 1 K9 quick play spell from deck to graveyard. When your opponent activates a monster in effect in hand or graveyard, quick effect, detach 1 material card and negate that effect. We do 1 Hound. Cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects. The turn it was special summon. Turn it is special summon, not was. Each time your opponent activates one effect, this card gains 500 attack. When that effect resolves, once per turn during the step phase, you can attach 1 material from this card, then target 1 card on the field and banish it. We do 1 of the new K9 Jacks. If this card is XYZ summoned, or if your monster activates a monster effect in hand or graveyard, detach 1 material from this card. Target 1 monster on the field to destroy it. You can only use each effect of K9 Jacks once per turn. A K9 X-Ray has game material. This effect during the turn which your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or grave, any battle damage this card inflicts to your opponent is doubled. We do 1 K9 Werewolf. What this does, sorry, the text is too small. While this card has been shielded, it can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the materials attached to. When your opponent activates card effect, quick effect, you can attach more material from this card, then activate it depending on whose turn it is. Your turn, banish up to 1 card from your opponent's field and graveyard. Opponents, look at your opponent's hand, banish 1 card from it face up until the end of the battle phase. Then we do 1 Nash Knight. Cannot be destroyed by battle. While a number of monsters on the field during the main phase, quick effect, you can attach 2 material cards. Attach 1 number XYZ monster from your extra deck to this card that has a number between 101 and 107 in its name. Then attach 1 other face-up monster on the field. You can only use the effect of 1 card once per turn. Then we do 1 Chaos Nash Knight. You can XYZ summon by using Nash Knight you control. Transfer the material to this card. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Attach 1 material to this card, special from your deck. One number XYZ has a number between 1 and 107. its name using the face-up card you control. This is treated as XYZ. Use to transfer material to its summon monster, but destroy during your opponent's deck's end phase. You do one for I cannot pronounce this. Chronomically Vamna. We once per turn quick effect target one face on monster on field. XYZ M1X when you monster or chronomy monster in the graveyard. That field gains the half the attack points of that monster in the graveyard till the end of this turn. When then attach that monster from the graveyard to this card's material once per turn. Your opponent activate monster effect with that two materials gain activation. You do one Valiant, the Super Sky Blaster during the main phase quick effect. You can attach one material from this card, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Change it to face down for this. If this card is sent to graveyard, you can target one face down on the field, destroy it, and you can only use the effect of this card once per turn. Imperial Princess Queen Corky. Weird last word. You can detach one material from this card, then target one level 5 higher monster in the graveyard, destroy it, special summon it to either field face up. Level 5 monster you control is destroyed by battle or leaves the field by opponent's card effect. While you control this monster, you can add to your hand or special one level 5 monster in the deck. You can only use each effect once per turn. One number 61 Volcanosaurus. Once per turn, attach one material to one's card, target one face up your opponent controls, destroy that opponent's monster. If you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to destroying monster's original attack. Almost done here. Artifact Durandal. I was gonna play another card, but I decided not to because there was no point because I didn't play the original. So, and I do not remember what that card is. So I decided to play Artifact Durandal instead. When a monster effect is activated on the field or a normal spell and trap is activated, you can attach the material from the card. The activated becomes destroy one spell / trap your opponent controls. Attach one material with the card. Each player's hand gets shuffled with their entire hand into the deck. Draw the same number of cards shuffled into the deck. Now this might be weird. I played one Nova and one Infinity. They basically you can activate this effect and basically attach a card to this card and it gains 200 attack for each material, and then you can attach one and negate it. And then we played one of the new Zeus Superstar Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe, and keep doing everyone.